Hey, this is Tacoma Comics coming from you on the tail end of quarantine. And just as the heat wave in the Pacific Northwest this summer is starting, you want to see what I got while shopping with my mask on? Stay tuned. All right, here we are live in another hot day. So, if you've been following, and I don't know why you would be following, but if you've been following my story recently, caught COVID 2 Mondays ago, so a week ago yesterday. Actually, I guess a week ago. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Yeah, I guess a week ago. So ended quarantine 2 days ago. But still pretty much isolating anyway. There's not much point in doing anything different. Because my older son has it, so he's in his bedroom upstairs. I'm in my bedroom upstairs with my wife, and we are basically staying away from my younger son. What's up, Kyle? My younger son, who is downstairs, trying to stay away from us, and he has not caught it yet. So he's sleeping downstairs. He's taking care of the dogs for the most part. But I'm out of isolation. I will go to this store to get something. Before that, I had actually purchased like groceries delivered online. First time I've done that. So I did stop and do some comic shopping, like I said, obviously masked, because I'm going a little stir crazy, and we're also in the midst of a heat wave hitting the Northwest. From now through Friday, we're going to have plus 95-degree weather, which, if you live out here, we just ain't prepared for it. It's not like everybody's got air conditioning and whatnot. People have none of that. So I'm going to go over some stuff I got last week and yesterday, and then yesterday, I guess, and some eBay purchases, and then I will also show what I just got today. So I got these with Lady Fantastic in mind because if she doesn't need them, I can easily sell them or keep them if they're cool ones. But I know she's collecting the what ifs, so for $10, 5 what ifs is pretty good deal, especially since I got volume 2, number 1. See if she needs that. I move that a little bit further away. There we go. If I move that back and keep this like this, okay, no, this is good. Issue 2, what if Daredevil had killed the Kingpin? Issue 3, what if Steve Rogers had refused to give up being Captain America? Issue 10, I think, what if the Fantastic Four all had the same powers? And then issue 45, what if the Hulk went berserk? And that's a great cover there. Love that cover. Is that Bill Sienkiewicz? I think it is. I'm not positive. These are all newsstands. Not sure if got lucky enough to get any of our little Mark friends in there. Doesn't look like it, but I think that's a pretty decent pack. Like I said, the popularity of the show and just the general popularity of that series, and specifically knowing that I got a friend who wants them, it's usually a no-brainer if I can get them cheap enough, because if I can't give them to her, and we always doing AOKs for each other, then I can pretty easily sell them. This knife was not a good choice for this. Let's see. This is the second What If pack. Also $10. And this, again, I believe these are all, it's a nice run here. These are all from the second volume. So that last one had like issue 45, I think. So this one starts with what if Cable had destroyed the X-Men, issue 46. Let me move the knife out of the way before I stab myself with it. What if Barbara Ketch had become Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch's wife or sister or something? What if Wolverine had married Mariko? I always think he should have, because she was wild and crazy, just that type of lady. Issue 47, what if Magneto took over the USA? Well, took over the world pretty much at some point. And then this is much later. What if starring Wolverine, issue 93? Is that Sam Keith? A Man No More. No, Dietrich and Steve Lealoha, I guess, but not Sam Keith. So there you go. 10 what ifs for 20 bucks. Not bad. And I'll see if Lady needs any of those. And if she does, I'll go in her pile. And if not, well, I'll do something with them. I don't think I did sell all mine a while ago, so it's not something I want to collect. I collect too many things, so it's like you just gotta say no at some point. All right, here's the number one thing that I've been getting from this store, just because they're so cheap, and $13. And to get these like in newsstand nonetheless, they're usually like $10 a piece, maybe $5 a piece if you're lucky. But these are GI Joes over issue 100. And while I do this, I'm going to take out my little checklist to check off, because otherwise I'll forget and then I won't do it later. There we go. So first issue that I need is 103. Uh-oh, my internet's going wonky. And wouldn't you know it, first issue here is issue 103. So I can cross that off indeed. Yay! Don't have, oh, I do have a pen. So that's pretty cool. Second issue I got in this pack is issue 120. And I need 120. This is sweet, man. I've been loving this recently. Issue 104. Nice little snake eyes jumping out of the plane. Love it. I got to see if any of these are, and I do need 104. So far, 3 for 3. This is totally worth it. To pay $13 for 3 post 100 GI Joes. Easy. If these were individual in a comic book shop and not in like a pop toy store that happens to sell comic books, I'd be spending $30, $40 on all these. Issue 105, which I also need. Yo Joe. Issue 106, which I also need. Now that's a great cover. A freaking great cover art here. All right, so I have 107 and 108. Let's see what's next. 108. So there's a duplicate. Don't need that one. I need 109, but this is not 109. This is 110. So this is really cool. I have no idea if any of these are keys, and because I'm trying to collect the whole series, I don't really care, because I also need issue 112. Missing 109 and 111. This is all Lee Weeks art that I've been showing you. Does a really nice job on these covers. Oh, there's 111. Bunch of ninjas jumping out of a helicopter, which is what ninjas seem to do, with Scarlet and Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes and random ninjas. That's 111. If the next one's 109, I will be super, super happy. Not feeling too bad, but thank you very much, Brother John. I got a little bit of a headache, and that could be because I haven't had my second cup of coffee yet. Usually I have my second cup of coffee before 7 a.m. But there it is, 109. Woohoo! Oh, man. I'm excited. Okay, so that's a straight run of G.I. Joe 103 to 112 plus issue 120. And now if I look, it's over to, I do need 100 and 101, but I've got from 102 to 112. So I've got a nice 10 there. I need a bunch in the teens, bunch in the 20s, bunch in the 30s, bunch in the 40s, bunch in the 50s. I got only some random issues, maybe about 10 issues. Like I've got 121, 22, 23. I've got 37 and 38. I've got 43 and 44. I've got some random post 100s, but this is the biggest solid post 100 collection that I've gotten. So I'm really excited about that. That's really cool. And they're all in nice condition. So somebody's just not they're just not willing to put all these into like they do have a single issue bin for like higher issues, and they have a guy that comes in on Monday. That's why I went today on Tuesday. They have a guy that comes in on Monday to actually go through the comics because he just buys like bulk long boxes from I don't know where and then gets them sorted. So this guy goes through them. But if they put this out for $5 and it's not, or $10 and it's not a key, um, it's going to sit there for a long time. So he pays pennies on the dollars for these. She pays pennies on the dollars for these, I should say. And the guy that she has putting them out just bags them together, and my luck. Sometimes they're crapshoots. Like this next one might be a crapshoot. This is an $8 mega bag of indie comics. This could be indie crap that nobody wants. I'm just picking it up because I knew that the G.I. Joe would be a hit, and I knew that what's it called? I knew the G.I. Joe would be a hit, and I knew that the what ifs would work out no matter what they were, because as long as they were in decent condition, I knew I could give them to Lady Fantastic or sell them if she doesn't need them. So here we go. An indie bag of comics for how much was that? $8. So let's see. Right off the bat, we got some 90s special because it's like embossed. This is from Epic Comics. This is called Heavy Hitters Spike with a Y. That's going straight to the sell back to half price book bins. It's not even good enough to want to put into like my classroom comic books. It's just 90s junk. All right. Anybody ever heard of Nodwick? Me neither. There's issue 14. There's issue 15. There's issue 18. Remember George Martin's original Wild Cards? There you go. Wild Cards. That's like a heavy comic. It's like a magazine quality paper. Wild Cards 3. Yo, what's up, Funk? Dozen short boxes of indies. Nice. And I do like indie comics. Just, for $8, if I find one book here that somebody's like, oh, I really want that, I'll be like, good. I'll give it to you and I'll be happy. Again, from the 90s. No, Brian Pulido's on this. It's kind of cool. This is Chastity from Chaos. Right? Maybe somebody collects Chastity. What do I know? Quantum and Woody, number 11. I don't think anybody really cares about issue number 11. Valiant Heroes, Claim Comics. Nexus, Alien Justice. I actually liked Nexus when I was a kid, but I haven't read it in a while. I met Mike Barron at like Rose City Comic Con a few years ago. He looked like a down on his luck sort of author. I don't want to say anything bad about him, so I'll just leave it at that. From Malibu Comics, we've got Jim Starlin's Breed number 2. And we've got Breed number 1. That's kind of cool. Nice cover. At least people know Jim Starlin. They know Breed. Man, who's sitting at home duct taping comics? Like, I almost don't want to open these up. Grendel Tales. I hope these are not all Grendel Tales. Grendel Tales, 4 Devils, 1 Hell, issue 6. Not for children. Dark Dominion from Defiant Comics, issue 1. Yeah, these are, yeah. Oh, there you go, Brother John. Thank you. All right. Harry Harrison, Death World. It says number 1, book 3, Holland. I don't even know if this is issue 1 of Death World, book 3. I'm guessing. I don't even know where to begin with that. And then the first one was Grendel Tales, Homecoming. All right, so there's $8 wasted. Even if that Quantum and Woody is good, right? I'm not going to go and try to hunt the rest of the series, a random one. Anybody saw something they want, and you've got a box of me, or you just want me to be nice, let me know and I'll send you something. But it's, sometimes you get crap, and that's okay, because those what ifs and those GI Joes and what I got yesterday definitely make up for it. So let's no further ado, to you and you and you and you. Let's go take a look at some other books that I bought. Now this I was totally stunned with. Totally stunned with. See if I can show you why. So there is this pack of Spectacular Spider-Mans, and it was packaged like this. So she packages all of her stuff. She transitioned. So when I say he, it's because my brain isn't processing. So I apologize for that. This was on one side, and this was on the other, and it was like labeled Spectacular Spider-Man, $13.99, so like $14. I'm thinking, all right, if that's in decent condition, then that book is probably worth buying this pack. It's a pretty cool book. I've always wanted to have that in the PC. I'll probably grab that John Byrne, and that'll be cool. Maybe I'll sell it. Maybe I'll keep it. I don't know. But as I'm looking through the pack, right, issue 103. Yeah, Funk, it is really cool. Issue 104. These are all newsstand, right? But 65 centers, so 1985 or 86, nothing too great. 105, 106, and then this one came out. Boom. Right? Issue 116. This is, I can't remember. This is like a $30 key as well. So I'm thinking, okay, that's pretty cool. Then issue number 1. That's like an $80 comic now. And so all this for $14. And then 3 more issues, 118, 102, and 115. 102 is pretty ticked, but they're all newsstand. They're all in like probably 8085 or better, with the exception of that one. The whole pack is in like good condition. So I'm like, holy cow, that is pretty damn cool. It's all signed by Peter David. That's awesome. Yeah. None of them are signed. Speaking of signed comics, I will be selling this tonight on Sans' channel. Signed by Claremont, but this is a lower grade. It's like a 6.0. I just replaced this with a much better copy. That's why this one's going up for sale. Just thought I'd let you know that. So the next thing in order, just because it's out of order, but the next thing in my order is I collect a comic called Lumberjanes, which is about an all-girls camp. Miss Quinzella something something something. It's Thin Whistle. It's, I don't know the name of the camp. I always get it wrong, but it's this really funny name. It's these 5 girls at camp, and they get up to hijinks, and it's a magical camp with mystical things going on in the woods. And I spent a lot of time in my 20s as a counselor to camp, made a lot of really good friends there, a lot of indelible memories. So just being a camp comic book, this really got me. And this is Lumberjanes, and I have often wanted to get. They did subscription variants. They did specifically Virgin variant subscription variants, and I've got the whole run 1 through 75 plus a lot of like variants. But I wanted to specifically get the Virgin variant covers. Apparently, after issue 30 or something, they stopped doing Virgin variants for the subscription variants. They were just regular variants. So I ended up spending a little bit more on eBay than I wanted to on books I didn't want to, but we can check out the artwork anyway. This is by somebody named Dozer Draws. Hey, Art, what's going on? This is issue 52. This is also Dozer Draws. I think she did the cover. I know she's the new artist. Does it say subscription cover Dozer Draws? Yeah. There's issue 51. Um, the cats and the birds are very thematic for this comic. Issue 49. Issue 50 was a landmark issue, so you didn't see that in this collection. Somebody on eBay, a store, something had it. Then they switched to Amy Sotuyo, Sotuyo, and she did a number of the covers in the girls in the bunks at camp, which, of course, having lived in various places at camp, including some very, very, very suspect buildings. I like the whole camp bunk theme, near and dear to my heart. So there's 45. And then we did a different sort of look. 46, I think, or 44. Now it's sort of these fright dark purples and blues with the animals and the reds in the middle, threatening the camp. 43, 42. And in that same vein, 41. And then we skip a bit, and this is more of the sort of stuff that I was looking for. It's just these one shots by these artists. I'm not going to mention the artists in each of them. So, for example, uh, variant cover Gen Live, and I assume that means they only had one variant being a subscription variant. Yeah, because it's got the number 2 listed there. So just look at these. I think these are just some gorgeous, gorgeous covers. Not every single one of them, but they're all playful. They're all different, and I just think it's some great artwork to have. And this one especially really got me. This one is Fifi Ruan, Fei, Fifi Ruan. I don't know. If you look closely, they're all supposed to be using cans with strings to listen, but Ripley in the middle there is trying to look through it, which is very indicative of the way Ripley is in the comics. So it's just cracks me up. It's issue 32, and then 31 again. Totally different style, totally different take. This one needs a little cleaning. I'll fix that up later. Swinging on a tree into the water. And some of these look more cartoony. Some of these look more serious. Like I said, they did all styles. And this is, what are we up to? Issue 27. And then on the next issue, hey, Lady Fantastic, 28, my good friend, Hey Jen Bartel. That's how she goes by on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, Jen Bartel. So Jen Bartel doing a subscription cover for issue 28 of Lumberjanes, which, absolutely love. She's a great artist, and I think that, I think she's proved her bona fides. I love saying bona fides. I think she's proven her bona fides more than once to people. So, yeah, so that was pretty cool. So I'm hoping to get that whole run of subscription variants. Like I said, it's a shame that they're not all virgin variants, because those I think just look really, really pretty. But whatever. All right, last couple. This was another pack I got from that place, and this is probably like $8, and you'll see why sometimes I hit it big with Spectacular Spider-Man #1, and post 100 GI Joes for $1 a piece, and sometimes I find absolute crap. So here's some absolute crap for you. Kazar the Savage, 29. I'm going to keep this one for a particular reason. See if y'all can figure out why. Marvel Fanfare issue 38. Guardians of the Galaxy 9, first appearance of Rancor. Come on now. Nth Man, #1, second appearance of Nth Man. As soon as I'm watching my my numbers dwindle as I'm going through these crap comics, and I'm just like, that's okay. It's Bill S. Absolutely. I got a lot of like random Bill S covers, which is pretty cool. T2 issue 2, Sabretooth versus Darkhold. Anybody collecting Darkhold? Anybody collecting? The cool people are always gonna watch. Anybody collecting Super Pro? I now have issues 1 and 8. Apparently, issue 6 is a controversial issue that I'd like to keep and hold on to. This one I don't know if I need. I gotta see. It's also Sankovic, but it's something I collect. ROM Annual number 3. And if you look at this and you look at ROM Annual number 1, obviously 2 years apart, it tells a really interesting story about how much Sankovic changed the conception of what could be comic book art in the mainstream, just looking at those two different issues 2 years apart. Here's a random Cloak and Dagger for anybody who's reading Cloak and Dagger. And then 2 books which I don't need because I think I should see if I need them. I might not. I don't know how many there are in these, but anyway, they did these seasonal ones. There's the one that's the second appearance of Rogue. So here's Marvel Superhero Spring Special, and then Marvel Superheroes Summer Special. So I think that's kind of cool to get the spring and summer there. Only reason I have this is because it's a newsstand. It is Deathlock. Dun, 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 dun. Not his first appearance, just his first solo book. Deathlock number 1. And finally, what else is down here? Oh, I guess I got an even crappier. Metarog loves Deathlock. Oh, Deathlock. Okay. So now we're really getting into like sometimes you get crap. This was only like $6 for this box, this bag. John Carter, Warlord of Mars. Marvel Age 89, a Bagley cover. Kazar, this is like a 1.0 condition. Further Adventures of Indiana Jones. And aren't these always beat up when you see them? These Marvel's greatest comics. That one's just destroyed. Again, absolutely destroyed. Black Goliath. Absolutely destroyed. Black Panther. Marvel Saga number 7. Just another piece of junk. Marvel Ages and Fanfares. Yeah, I do. I do too. Here's a totally ripped up. This, usually you go, oh, the rip is on the bag. Nope, the rip is on the comic. Champions. I looked this up. I thought, oh, maybe that's a late, later issue of Conan 155. No, this went to like 200 and something. It's not even, find GI Joe 155 and you're happy. Here's a Marvel Fanfare, pretty random. And then this Marvel double feature, Captain America and Black Panther. So all cool stuff in the sense that Marvel comics from the 70s and 80s are cool. But not cool stuff in the sense that any 275. There you go. I knew it was like 200s. This is the invoice from my weed whacker. I picked it up at the same time. Leave me alone. Let's see what we have here. This was half price yesterday. Secret Warrior 16. I needed that to fill in. Good. That is PC because it's in crappy condition now that I look at the back of it. Not bad condition, just not like great condition. Secret Wars number 11, which is also crappy condition. So again, glad that this is PC stuff. Pick this one up. I forget what happens in here, but it's one of the issues that something happens in that's popular. I've got the whole run of Stephanie Hans covers on this. Kieran Gillen writing Journey into Mystery, but I just figured I would grab that one because it was minor key and it was cheap. I picked up a couple of these again because I don't know, there was something about Secret Wars that happened this week. I don't know. We've Google slapped the COVID warning on here. Absolutely. This one unfortunately has bent corner. Um, but these were a half off cover, so I figured I'd get a few of them anyway. Bend that corner back. Gosh darn. Ooh, it's oh wow. You know, sometimes you don't check on your comics beforehand. You just don't look because you're like, all right, $2, I'll buy that. That one's done. And this one they had a $5. I don't know why this one cost more than the others, but whatever. Looked this book up. This apparently is a $30 book for collectors or fans of A Nightmare Before Christmas. So it's one of those books where you hold on to it forever because um, nobody buys it. And then when you finally decide to give it away or sell it really cheap the next week, somebody's like, I'm looking for blank. You're like, don't have enough storage room. All right. And then, holy cow, we're up to last Wednesday's new comics. And maybe it doesn't have a hole in it. It does. Last week's new comics, I was pretty happy. I was able because my comic, let me show you this if you haven't seen this. My LCS uses Comic Hub, which is a really cool, if you can see that it's said in partnership with Stargazer Comics. So you make an account through your local store, they'll send you a link, or you can just type it in. So you can see right now I've got nothing. When you find a book you want, you put in like the pre-order cart, and then you look at them, and then you can move them over to the in-store cart. The cool thing is you can pay on the app. And so I called up my LCS. I'm like, hey, I just paid for them. You want to bring them to the door? I've got COVID or I'm getting over COVID. I don't want to come inside. And they're like, cool. Right. And then you can shop and you can kind of go through. It's got my current searches, which is probably Hans. Yeah. Um, you can go through all the stuff. Here's like the stuff that's this is all whatever many are cutoffs of Wednesday. And if it's like a 1 in 25 or 1 in 50, it'll say this is subject to availability. And then I'll actually get like a notification, a text message from my LCS. Hey, Ian, we see you want this. We should be able to get that one in. We're going to charge you $17 for it. We're going to charge you $20 for it. Is that cool? And yes or no? So it's a really nice way of controlling what I'm going to get that week. I don't have to actually go ahead and I don't have to go ahead and talk to the comic book shop in person or try to message them on IG, which must be getting crazy for them. Let's see. New order maintenance. Oh, I just added a new one. So like I just added the Malieve variant to this Darth Vader for next Wednesday or tomorrow. And so that's there. So Comic Hub is a really, really, really cool app. If your LCS is unaware, I suggest you bring it up to them. It's a great way for those of you who have commitment issues to control your pull and not to get suckered in and to be able to delete things whenever you want. So, without further ado, um, this is Stephanie Hans cover to Alice Ever After. Not her greatest, not her worst. I like that it says drink me down there, and then her SH initials are right on the shadow of the tag, which is pretty cool. But another Stephanie Hans cover. Farmhand number 19. I'm glad this went on hiatus because Controlled pulls because I'm only 4 issues behind. I think I ended at 15. Um, I don't know if this was a mistake or not. I'm like, "Oh, Fables, I've got almost every issue from 1 to when they stopped in 130 something. I have to keep going." I'm like, "Why did I bother keep going?" Like, who or I guess 150 they picked up, so they're doing this 12-issue limited series, but they're keeping the legacy numbering like Marvel now. I'm like, "What? How did I get suckered into that? I haven't read all 150 issues. Now I'm gonna start buying another 12?" Like, that was just stupid, but, when you got the collector bug, you got the collector bug. So Saladin Ahmed just just announced that he is ending his run on Miles at issue 42. He put that on Twitter today. He said it's not I'm not being pulled from the title. This was the intended like time period. This was negotiated a long time ago. Um yes, she does. Yes, she does, lady. So Saladin Med's finishing, which is sad because it's really cool. I think like they already did this variant. I swear to God, it feels like I already have an kid Anakin that looks very much like this on the cover of one of these JTCs. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. The regular Star Wars 25, new Darth Vader came out. This Ochi Bastoon character, I'm not a big fan of his. I liked him when they first brought him in, but if you read the Bounty Hunter series, all these bounty hunters are like proclaimed to be badass bounty hunters. But whenever it suits the storyline, they always get their ass kicked easily by somebody. And they're just like, there's nobody singular among them that's really that great. Maybe Boba Fett, right? But whoever is the star of the story is the one that's kicking everybody's asses in that story. And then you go to somebody else's story, and now all of a sudden they're kicking everybody's asses. So getting a little tired of it. Uh keeping up with my Usagi, Yojimbo. And then finally, I'm not even reading this series, but I saw these Choose Your Destiny. Now, this is the flip side to Comic Hub. Sometimes you see stuff, right? And if you had missed it originally, uh, you're on a freaking tear today, lady. Anyway, if you see stuff, right, that you can't do without, you might end up spending a lot more money on variants, especially in titles that you don't even read right now. Like I'm not buying the Han Solo and Chewbacca. So God, there's something about the colors and the design of this that's just a badass cover. Just a badass cover. Um, yeah, so that is I believe, looking around, that is everything I've bought while in quarantine this week. Uh, it's been an interesting week. So yeah. Oh, and I showed this off. This is from last week, but I'll show this again just because I love having this. I love having this large. Boom. Very, very cool. All right, let's talk about uh Joni Mitchell. If you are a Joni Mitchell fan at all, the videos that have been making the rounds recently on YouTube blew me away. So Joni Mitchell, famous folk singer, has been there through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, doing experimental jazz and beautiful like Leonard Cohen style numbers and stuff. I just saw Summertime this morning. That was actually right before I came down here. So the ones that got me were both sides now. So let me give the background as much as I want to jump right into it before Lady steals all my thunder. Um, she hurt her voice badly in the 80s due to accumulated cigarette smoke, but then came out in like the 90s or the early 2000s with like a couple albums where she just was a register too lower with a raspier voice but still sounded amazing. And then I haven't seen the guitar solo yet. I need to watch that one. And then she had a brain aneurysm in 2015. So I don't know much about Brandy Carlisle, who apparently is a singer, songwriter of some note with a band, but she's befriended Joni and helped her with a rehabilitation and actually done like, I guess, jam sessions at Joni's house with like traveling itinerant musicians. And what it all culminated with Joni actually recovering faster and better than most neurologists would have expected. And then also appearing at the Newport Jazz Festival, where she debuted 35 years ago, for the first time since like 70 something, at the Newport Jazz Festival. And she's backed up by Carlisle and her band, and one of the judges was there, Winona Judd, I think, helping her sing and like singing her classics. And both sides now, I was sitting in my bed, my quarantine bed, bawling my eyes out. It was something so pure and so good and so beautiful. Oh my God, it blew me away. I'm texting my wife, right? I'm like, you've got to see, I'm tearing up now talking about it. I'm like, you've got to watch this, you've got to watch this. And then she did Circle Game, which that's a song when I was like 16. My friend was trying to convince me to go to his camp. He went to this little hippie farm camp for rich New York City kids uh, up in um, up in Vermont, right? And the recruitment video that the camp had was a VHS videotape, and it was just like, badly edited, like scenes of the camp, but they used Circle Game in the background. So that's the first time I heard that song. So that association is with this amazing camp that I love and that I've been to for, you know, I've only went there like as a counselor and then on a teen trip, so I don't have a great connection to it, but it's one of those powerful seminal moments. So hearing her do Circle Game and like the crowd singing it, oh my God. And then I woke up this morning, right? My wife's on her phone and she's like, I've seen like five of the songs from her set and I cried at three of them. I'm like, I told you. Oh, just if you're a Joni Mitchell fan, or if you're just a fan of like the triumphant human spirit and the power of like the human spirit, go watch, man. Go fucking watch. It's so good to see this woman who, whether she's an icon to you or not, and she's been an icon to me for the reason I just mentioned is how I started getting into her. Um, just the power of the human spirit and what she did and age 78 after having a brain aneurysm. She's never going to be the same Joni Mitchell, but it wasn't like a Joni Mitchell charity event. It's like she came through and sang, and you could tell the songs were hers. And it was neither like, oh, yay, Joni can sing. We're just pretending that she's doing a good job. Or like, oh my God, this is the most amazing she's ever sung. It was something different. It wasn't between that or in that like realm. Because, at 78 and smoking cigarettes for 20, 30 years, you're not going to sound the same. But she did something that was just it transcended anything I've seen in like a summer concert before. And yeah, they did put up like throne shares, which is really cool. But I do have to go watch the guitar one. I haven't seen that one yet. I've only seen three of the songs, and apparently she did a 12-song set list. So I do have to see the whole thing. I've seen Circle Game, both sides now, and what's it called? Summertime. I watched this morning. So definitely, 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 if you're a Joni Mitchell fan, if you're not a Joni Mitchell fan, do yourself a favor and just try to like Google it on YouTube. We used to call that searching. Search for it on YouTube and Joni Mitchell, Newport, and you'll probably see these cell phone shot videos that are just amazing. If they don't move you, well, I hope something does, right? I don't want to sound snarky and be like, well, then nothing will. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but for me, it was totally my cup of tea. Oh wow. Okay. Moving on. Today I'll be on Sansa's auction in 2 hours and 12 minutes, selling some of the books you've seen, some books that you haven't seen, some books from last week. Tomorrow I will be on JP's channel with JP and some youngins talking Paper Girls. And then Thursday, I have my brand new show that I'm trying to get started. If you do YouTube and you have a life, you know how hard it is to kind of keep a consistent YouTube schedule. But I've got a new show called What Should I Be Reading? And it's an attempt by me to highlight what I and what other people think is a book or a run or a series or a one shot um, that didn't get a lot of notoriety. So we're not talking about the really popular, well known stuff. We're talking about lesser known stuff. And Lady Fantastic is joining me. I think she's chosen Books of Doom, which has made a bit of resurgence recently because of STCC Marvel news, but still, I don't know many people who've read the series, and that's the whole point. And she's got a really interesting take on it. And I'll be highlighting something called Eleanor the Egret, um, which is a really whimsical favorite book of mine that I don't know a lot of people really listened to or paid attention to when it came out, and so I'd like to bring attention to that. So that'll be Thursday, 6 o'clock West time, 9 p.m. East time, and that will be a semi-regular show I'll be doing. If anybody's ever interested on being on that, if anybody has like a book that they think they want the world to know about and people just haven't read it, that's the show on which to do it. So contact me and I'll be happy to arrange a date with you. But like I said, the debut of that will be this Thursday with Lady Fantastic up first, sometime in the evening. Uh, so there you go. The Penance 5 issue Civil War mini series. So Kyle, hit me up if I don't know if you're on IG. I think you are. And we'll definitely get you scheduled because I don't know Defenders. I know New Defenders when they changed New Defenders, like issues 120 through 140, and I loved some of those. But I'd love like for somebody to highlight, especially, and not to rag on people who are into the keys because I'm into keys. I collect books to sell them to make money to buy other books. So I don't want to rang on that, but if there's nothing big about 92 through 100, except it's a really good story that resonated with you, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, it's that many, 125 to 152. That just means I need to finish buying more. I was hoping it was 127 through 140. That means I'm almost done with the run. But that's what I read as a kid. So that's what I'm trying to recollect. But yeah, I'm looking for people who are like, gosh, I can't believe people aren't talking about ROM issue 37. I'm making that one up. But I just need people to help me out. So yeah, that would be great. Um, all right, I think that's it for now. Thank you for joining me for this random live of stuff. And I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful, good day. Take care.